Hi, this video is for the Refuah Shlema of Yehuda Meir ben Yakira. He should have a complete recovery very soon. So I just want to remind everybody, go get your own copy of the Chumash, the 5 books of Moses. Make sure it's a Jewish publisher, so you don't have any other biases floating around in there that you don't need. Because I don't cover everything. This is just a quick review, or not so quick review. So, just the highlights. Anyway, so let's get started. It starts very famously where God says to Avram, not Abraham, Avram, go for yourself from your land, from your relatives, and from your father's house to the land that I will show you. Okay, this parsha has a lot of promises that God makes to Avram. The land belongs to his descendants, the Jews. So it's very exciting. And it says, I will make of you a great nation. I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and curse those who curse you. And all the families of the earth shall bless themselves by you. So there's a lot going on in this chapter. This portion of the week is huge. It's huge, trust me. So we know that Avram takes Sarai. It's not Sarah yet, it's Sarai, and his nephew Lot. And they go with all the people, it says all the souls that they made, all the people who they talked about God with, and basically not converted, but like the people who they understood that God's one. God's not a piece of block of wood or a block of stone or something else. Just God is God. So they head out to the land of Canaan, end up in a place called Shechem. Today's name is called Nablus. The Romans came up with that one. But basically, they're now in the land of Canaan. And God promises Avram that his children will inherit from him. Now, he gets there, God promises him this land, and all of a sudden this famine happens. And Avram ends up going to Egypt. Now, what's interesting is you'll see a lot of similarities between going down to Egypt, the children of Israel later, because of a famine. And, they're oppressed, there's plagues. To redeem them, the Jews come out. Now, in this narrative here, Avram goes down with his family because there's a famine. But he's worried. He's worried because the Egyptian society is so bad. He's worried because he notices Sarai is beautiful. It says it in the Torah. Sarai is beautiful, and he's afraid he might get killed for her. Okay, they're going to just take her, kill him, and move on. Anyway, so he decides to call, they discuss it, and they decide that they're going to call Sarai his sister. And she ends up being taken to the Pharaoh. And the Pharaoh, God decides to protect her honor and brings a plague on the Pharaoh. And the Pharaoh calls Avram in and says, why didn't you tell me she was your wife? And, he had reason to worry because Egyptian society at that time was, not on the up and up. So he ends up getting a big, he gives him a huge wealth, and then he pushes him out of the country. See you later, Avram. So what ends up happening is that kind of foreshadows the Exodus. Okay, it's interesting. There's this concept of what happens to our forefathers and foremothers is something that pretends to us. It's an interesting word, pretends to us. It's for us to see in the future. Like, it's interesting, I heard once that there was a great rabbi in the time of Rome. When he was summoned to the emperor to talk to him, he studied the parsha of the week before he went to speak to the emperor to get ideas of what it is going on in that parsha. The power of the parsha holds through all the generations, and there's something in there for all of us in all times. This book, this Torah of ours, has been around for 3,000 years. And for 3,000 years, we've gone back to it and looked at it week to week to week to week to find out what it's saying to us this year. We go through the Torah every single year, and we get something different out of it every single time we go through it. Anyway, so it's interesting like that. So he ends up out of Egypt, and now he finds himself with a problem. His nephew, his name is Lot, his herdsmen and Avram's herdsmen are not getting along for different reasons, whatever. It doesn't really, I don't know if I noticed it in the parsha. But Avram says to Lot, look, we are family, we don't want to argue, right? So why don't you pick where you want to go, and you will get first dibs, and I'll go the opposite direction. Okay? So, and basically it says it like that. In the parsha it says here, please separate from me. Okay, this is chapter 13, verse 9. Please separate from me. If you go left, then I will go right. If you will go right, I will go left. So basically Avram's saying to Lot, you have first dibs, go. I don't want to fight with you. So what ends up happening is Lot goes toward the Jordan plains. Looks good, it's green, there's plenty of water for his flocks. He ends up in Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah. Okay. And the parsha even says in chapter 13, verse 13, says Sodom was wicked and sinful toward God exceedingly. It uses the word ma'od. Okay, that is an exclamation mark, right?